Billy Joe Saunders, in my opinion, is one of the best middleweights out there in the world, without a doubt. And he's not been tested yet. He's not had to go to the well yet. He's not had to do any of these things. He's got so much in the tank. He's a young man. He's a smart boxer. He's got a good boxing brain. He can punch. He can box. He can do it any way he wants. And he's a southpaw. And I think the truth is he's probably the most avoided fighter in that division. But this man here wants to fight. He's chuckling away to himself here. He's going to say, I'm going to prove that Warren wrong. But we will see about that on the night. So we're looking forward to the 8th. And I'm looking forward, more importantly, to see Bill back in the ring and showing the British public and the world what he's good at doing and what he can do.
Well, let's start with Billy Joe. You've been working over in Spain. You've clearly shed a bit of tonnage. You're looking well.
Yep.
Ready to start training for this in earnest. What's your thoughts actually on this guy and on the fight that you have ahead?
Well, listen. If you take obviously if you take the little muscles away, everything else, he's probably a featherweight. You know, I suppose he's had a bit of help to put them muscles on. You know, I know these Americans trainers, and these are very sophisticated over there. They like the old juice. So, you know, I think that he's going to be chasing shadows all night, and he's going to be playing eat the jab. And after 3 or 4 rounds, when he's gassing out, then I'm going to step on him and just do what I've got to do. He's 37-year-old. If I can't beat him, I just want to give up and think about not fighting Golovkin and your Canelos. You know, he's 3 years off and 40, so, you know, and he's not the best of boxers. I have a 7-year-old son who's got better boxing tools than what he's got, and that's on a serious note.
But when you saw him against Tommy, I know Frank says, of course, you're not Tommy.
I think the occasion got to Tommy. Tommy was looking at the bigger picture. I think Tommy was looking at the bigger picture, more than winning on the night, and I think he froze a little bit when it got put in front of him. But I think Tommy was up by 4 rounds. I think even the judges had it up. And Tommy's, you know, he's experienced at British level, but when you take that next step, even to European level, it's different. And you've got to go through that to know it, and I'm sure Tommy will come back a better fighter. But I bet if there's a rematch, Tommy will beat him in a rematch. What's he going to do, asked him, when he's 7 rounds down, blown out of his arse and can't hold his hands up to his face?
Why don't you let him say what he's going to say?
Why don't you sit down?
Let him say what he's going to say.
You're only here for money. You're only here for money.
No, he's not here. He's here to come and whoop your ass. That's why he's here.
I've seen you in his corner.
You want to talk about somebody not being...
I've seen you in his corner once. Yeah, that's what I've seen you in his...
Then you're not looking enough. You're not looking enough. No, let him talk. Let him talk.
He can't even talk a word of English.
He has an interpreter. Let him talk. Don't be rude. I mean, I know you are rude, but don't be rude.
All right, I'm sorry, mister. Sorry.
Thank you.
All right. I'm not really sorry.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
I can explain he's not here for the money, though. What he is here for is your belt.
Yeah, listen, he's 37-year-old. He's 37 years of age.
It's not about the money
up
for this
against a
fight.
27-year-old.
How's that going to make you feel when he whoops your ass then?
Well, I'll tell you, would you want to put what you're earning on what I'm earning on it?
Sure, I don't have a problem with that. I have 5 other middleweights that keep me earning.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. You talk about somebody not being ready for something. His sparring partners are better than you are.
Yeah, I'll bet they
His sparring partners.
So why ain't he sparring partners over here fighting me?
You don't want to fight him. You didn't want to fight Danny. You don't want to fight...
Danny. You got him at Danny.
Yeah, Danny. Yes.
I would pick
and this man, this was the man that got Danny ready for Golovkin. He's going to whoop your ass on July 8th.
Well, the same. He's going to get me ready for Golovkin, gangs. On the
no, he's going to get you done. That's what he's going to get you. You're going to be done.
Let me tell you one
You're
thing.
going to be done.
Who's going to get done is him.
You're going to be done.
I'm going to make you do. I'm going to make you.
You're not making me do anything.
I'm going to punish him.
You're not going to make me do anything. You're not going to punish. You're not going to punish him because he's going to be ready for you. You talk about eating jabs. He's going to eat your jabs and feed you a hook for dinner.
You've got to wave that white flag over to the ref and say.
No. We don't do that in Brooklyn. We don't do that in Brooklyn.
If I wobble him, I'm going to step
We don't do that in Brooklyn. We don't do that in Brooklyn.
You don't look like your fighters then. You don't look like your fighters.
Give me one picture, man. Give me.
Everybody's short-hand working okay.
We hear you getting angry. He's laughing.
Did you repeat that again? It's good.
Tell us some more.
You're a strong fighter, man. Good.
You just say he's a strong fighter.
Yeah.
You going to knock him out?
Maybe.
Listen, Curtis, you are a good penis, yes? You are good penis. Yeah. I know. See? Told you. It's good penis.
Now listen, because he doesn't understand what you're saying, don't disrespect him, all right?
You understand.
Because you're a real asshole. How about that one?
We'll see the arsehole on the night, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to see on the 8th.
We'll see.
I guarantee you that. We're going to see on the 8th.
Make sure you got that tail in your
We're going to see. No, we don't wave. We don't wave flags.
Waving that tail.
We don't wave flags.
You're going to get him hurt. You'll get him hurt bad.
No, you're going to be hurt.
Wave that flag.
Listen, make sure you get it together. All right? Get that little fat, tubby body of yours ready. When he pounds you out, get ready for it.
It's ready now. It's ready
now.
No,
it's far from ready now.
It's ready now.
And
after I do
where's your pink shirt? Where's your pink shirt?
If you want to bring Danny Jacobs over here to England, I'll do the same to him. Because that's your golden egg, Danny Jacobs.
Would you cut it already? You're losing your title on July 8th. You're losing your title on July 8th. Avtandil Khurtsidze, nicknamed Suicide, nicknamed Brooklyn Best, nicknamed the Black Man, is going to tear your ass up.
It's going to be suicide.
Can I just draw a halt for a moment? I think you probably get the gist of what's going on. Can I ask for one or two questions from the floor? If you want to just sort of narrow it down a little bit, perhaps you'd like to hear about what Billy's actually been doing in Spain, because I would, because you've been working out with Big Tyson, haven't you?
Been out there. That's all I've been doing is eating, partying, not doing no training, get ready for this man to come over and take me to.
I believe you.
Thank you very much. That's good. That's what I want you to do.
Let me party with you in Spain.
Want you to believe me. You're too old to party.
I speak a little Spanish.
You're too old to party.
I speak a little Spanish. Don't worry. I'll talk to everyone that's necessary. I'll interpret for you.
Go on then. Away you go. Now listen, I've been out in Spain, training very hard, getting ready for this fight. I know that he's not going to come in, obviously, and give up. I know listen, deep down, I know that he's an hard fight to anybody. So, you know, you say a lot of talk just to get into people's heads, but I know he's a very strong fighter, good puncher. But he hasn't even got a jab. I'm WBO middleweight champion of the world. If I can't beat somebody who hasn't got a jab, then I don't belong in boxing. Simple as that.
He's been avoided, though, hasn't he?
He has been strongly avoided. He has. But to be honest with you, I should have boxed him. I wish I had boxed him on the Tommy Langford bill when Tommy Langford was, because it would have been over by now and I'd been looking on the next step. But, you know, things happen for a reason. He's a good puncher. He's got a good record. And we're not just bringing someone over here that... I know he can't speak a word of English anyway and I can't even say his name, but he can genuinely fight. I'll give him to his due. Yeah, he can fight, but he's no Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson retired 18 years ago. So he is what he is. He's a strong little ball, come forward, full of muscles, and that's about it. Yeah. Well, listen, in ways that last time I boxed, it was completely down to my own lack of work, my own way of letting myself go a year without the ring, without moving, doing anything. But it's been a lot different. I think this time that I know that I've got to be on my game, and that's what I do. When I have to turn it on, I will turn it on. Whatever I need to do to win, I would do to win. And whether it look good, bad, ugly, I'm unbeaten. I'm world champion. No one can argue with that. So until someone beats me and takes it off me, then that's it. Well, no, not really. Listen, you've got to take one fight. I'm not overlooking him thinking that I've just got to jump in the ring, turn up, and that's it, because I know that's not the case. But my goal is Golovkin or Canelo by the end of the year. That's all I want. I want one of the big fights. And to test myself to my max, to test myself to my absolute max, I want one of the best. And to be fair, he's a good fighter, but he's not one of the best. I don't need to get told of... it will happen. It's just that they're fighting now. They're making a history fight, and the only title they haven't got is the WBO. So I'm sure that they'll want to make that fight, because if I was in their position, I would love to make that fight.
Who do you think wins that one as much of interest, Bill?
I think that's going to be a close fight. I thought Golovkin comfortable at first, but Canelo's got a few tricks. It all depends if Golovkin's got a bit old, doesn't it? You know, because his last fight, let's face it, he wasn't the best Golovkin that we've seen 2 or 3 years ago. He slowed down a bit. But also, my opinion is that had something to do with having... My opinion on this is he had 5 drug testers, and that's my opinion on stuff like that what happens in America. So I don't think he boxed to his best ability because it was a fair playing field. Yeah, very good. He seemed to got his head back on game again. He's motivated. You know, he was up every morning, was running sevens, training, everything. He was putting in just as much work as me, and I'm really happy to see him back on track. And 100% you're going to see him back this year, 1,000,000%. He's really looking. He's lost a load of weight already. I think he lost 22 pounds out altogether. And I think as soon as he gets his business sorted over here, what he needs to do, he's back out again.
For DiBella Entertainments, for the other side of it, who are involved in this, any observations from your point of view? One or two interesting remarks being made about the way in which some American boxers are prepared?
To be honest with you, Billy Joe Saunders is a hell of a fighter. I saw him, you know, when he won his title versus Andy Lee and looked absolutely sensational. So, you know, he is one of the best middleweights in the world. With Avtandil, I've seen him since when we brought him over from Georgia. I believe it was a little bit off 2.5 years ago. Once he settled in with Andre over here, he became a little bit of a different fighter. Became a better one. I believe he became more comfortable just with himself in general, being in an atmosphere that that embraced him, and then he, you know, in turn embraced that atmosphere. And I believe that has had a huge impact on his career and put him into the position that he's in. And it's not about the money, what Billy was saying, because that's actually not what's here in this fight. What it's about is him coming to win the title, because after that, the riches will come to Avtandil, and he'll show everybody he's one of the best middleweights in the world come July 8th. Thank you.